Welcome to our little NXT TNA podcast review thingamajig. We're just trying to make sure we have volume this time because last time we did not. And if we don't again, then this will be for naught. That kind of rhymed.
Come on.
Do, 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 do. Okay, cool. Anywho, like I said, welcome to TNA NXT review podcast, whatever. Basically, it's going to tell you what happened, what we think, and go over some rumors and
Just
news
some fun
and
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun stuff today. I found a lot of fun videos.
But we
okay,
start off.
NXT.
Yes, we start off with Miles Bourne coming down, and he says, "Last week I shocked the damn world. 25 of the toughest men across NXT, LFG, and Evolved, and I was the last man standing, and now I'm going to Battleground. Now, I probably wasn't your first pick, or your second, maybe not even your third. Oh, excuse me. But that's okay. I'm used to this. We've been dancing around this whole thing for a while now, but I have a disability. I'm partially deaf. It affects my speech. It affects the way that I talk. But let me tell you something. Last week when I eliminated Ethan Page and Shawn Spears, I heard you going crazy. Sorry, my nose is running.
You better catch it.
Shut up. I don't just want to be known as the deaf kid. I want to be judged by my ability, not by my disability. And that's what everyone with a disability wants to be judged by. So yeah, Battleground, I'm the underdog. I'm facing a dominant champion. But I'm fighting for all the kids out there that struggle fighting their own fight. To prove that you, too, can achieve success. Obafemi, I hope you're listening. Because last week, they didn't give me a shot, but look what happened. May 25th, they're not going to give me a shot, but I'm ready to shock the world again. I might be hard of hearing, but at Battleground, I will hear Rome announce me, Miles Bourne, your new NXT champion."
And then dumbass Ethan Page shows up with his ego.
You keep reading. I'm going to, so I'm not sniffling constantly in the microphone.
And he's like, all right. Enough with the sentimental crap. Miles, you might actually be worse than Ricky Saints. With all the pandering to those basic civilians, I gave Ricky his reality check. And now I'm going to give you yours. Miles, you won a battle royal. A battle royal on a fluke. A legitimate 1 in a million chance thing actually came true. You know what? You're actually right. I'm very, very sorry. There's no closed caption here. So let me... Oh, that's right. The crowd is chanting, "He can't hear you, he can't hear you." That's... Okay, I was trying to think, why did he say that? But the crowd is chanting, "He can't hear you."
Person detected at back door.
Then he's like, "Yeah, you know what? You might actually be right. I'm very sorry. There's no closed captions here. So let me do you a favor. I'll say this very slow so you can read my lips. You can't beat Oba. You're not on his level. And you're not on my level. And better yet, you know what? Before you go to Battleground and embarrass yourself, I got a better idea for you. You want to prove to these people and to yourself that you actually deserve the opportunity at this championship? Hey, prove it. Prove it. Put the contendership on the line tonight against me." And then Charlie Dempsey chimes in.
His great friend, Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, last week...
Oh, that's what I'm saying. His great friend, Charlie Dempsey, who
Miles jumped in when he tried to...
steal his contendership, yeah. Says, "You know what, Miles? This is actually the perfect learning opportunity for you. I mean, you got me the match with Oba tonight because you wanted some advice, first-hand knowledge, am I right? Well, think about it. What better way to learn than to go toe-to-toe with a former NXT champion? No, this is going to be the perfect fight camp for you. Think about it. Iron sharpens iron is what they say, and you get to silence all of your doubters, even your biggest one.
And then Miles goes, "You're right, Charlie. You're on."
Yep.
And then Ava comes out.
And she's like, all right, let's dial back. Let's dial back a minute. Now, Miles, look, truthfully, I don't know if this is the right move for you right now, but I also see how confident you are, and I know how badly you want to prove yourself, so I'll allow it. Tonight, you can face Ethan Page with your #1 contendership on the line. But that match is scheduled for later, because right now, Charlie, you actually have some pretty big business on your hands, remember? Because your match with the NXT champion, Obafemi, is right now.
Yep. And so then we get into the Oba versus Charlie Dempsey.
The Slaughterfest.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's just say, this is supposed to be a learning lesson for Miles.
It was a learning lesson on what not to do.
Kind of the same thing Miz did with Aleister Black last week.
I'll give him his props. He got a few good licks in. You know, he was trying to whittle him down, but Oba does not care.
Oba is
he's
100% beast mode all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Go ahead and can we pull that up real quick?
It
on
is
the Discord
somewhere on the Discord. Oh no, Discord is one to reload again. No. Oh, give me a moment, guys.
I just thought that'd be good to kind of bring up right now.
Here it is.
There it is. It's just one of those things that if you don't know Obafemi,
Exactly.
you'll know him, and then trust me. It's not a matter of if this man main events WrestleMania. It's a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people are saying online, when Obafemi hits the main roster, they need to launch him straight into the main event scene, just like they did with Brock Lesnar and Sheamus. He has the presence, power, and aura to dominate from day one, and I 100% agree. He is a model. You know, on LFG they were calling Jasper Troy a monster. This man is a monster.
Yeah.
So
he when they call him the ruler,
it's
they
for good.
They
There's
mean
nobody-
he's the ruler.
Again, we say this about Stephanie. This dude built different.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Yes.
can see Oba, like he said, what was it a couple weeks ago? It was last week. Like, I'm not doing no more Fatal 4-Ways.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do gotta give him his props with that. But Stephanie would have been like, we've seen Stephanie like,
I'll
"Come
take
on,
him out."
I don't care. So do I think Stephanie as the women? Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Oba for the men, maybe not as cool, but definitely right there.
Oh, yeah. He's still built different. But yeah, like I said.
But Stephanie on NXT, if you're not watching NXT, I'm going to ask why.
Exactly.
2, we talk about it all the time, Stephanie is built different.
Oh,
This girl, we'll bring it up later.
Let's just say it this way. She's been there for 7 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to bring that up later.
She's been here for 7 months. And in those 7 months, she's become the first ever NXT Women's Double Champion. Defended both of her titles in one night.
And on the main roster.
And yes, she didn't even give up. She didn't even lose one of her titles. She had to relinquish it because she was that good. She's like, okay, some of y'all need something to fight for, so I'm not just hogging all the spotlight. So,
And Ava has made her dial it back.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Exactly.
Because when what was it, Jada Parker
And Jordan Grace, she was like, I'll take them both. No. You get one. They're having a #1 contenders match tonight. Calm the fuck down.
But she was like,
exactly.
I got no. I already know. You're not.
Yeah. Like I said, that is the kind of champion I want to see. Because name a single champion on that.
Because I could almost see Stephanie, and I know this is like way out in left field, but I could almost see Stephanie being that champion of like, okay, you want a Royal Rumble for my title? I'm in it. I'm taking all you out. I'm victorious.
And I'm
30
winning.
fucking women. Let's go, bitches.
You want a world? I'm the women's world heavyweight champion. You're gonna be in the Royal Rumble to earn a shot at my title. Guess what? I'm joining the Royal Rumble with you, and when I win it, I'm going after the other women's world championship.
Well, Brock already did that, so that way nobody could compete against him. But what I would love to see Stephanie do is no, screw that. You want a title shot after Royal Rumble? Tell you what, at Royal Rumble, it is a title shot.
That would be awesome. They're never gonna do it.
No, but that's the kind of Stephanie Vicure level. Like, okay, 30, okay, let's go.
Over the top rope, you're out. Last woman standing is the champion.
That's the kind of shit that Stephanie is built to do.
Absolutely. Like I said, that is the kind of champion I aspire to be when I get into wrestling. You want a shot at the title? Bring it on.
What? There's 4 of you? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bet. Come on.
Oh, what, you want a handicap match, 5-on-1? Put them up. But then we go backstage. Carmen Petrovic is talking to Thea Hale. She says, "I appreciate you having my back last week. That's what friends are for." Excuse me. Jude. Oh my God. Thea's like, I couldn't just sit there and watch Carmen take another hypnotic from Jada Parker. And then they see Tatum Paxley throwing a tantrum, restoring her dollhouse. And Tatum is poking fun at the fact that Thea calls herself a grown-ass woman when she can't do anything by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatum's like, I have nothing. Everybody's gone. They've all left me.
Yeah.
Like, flipping the hell out. And here's the thing. Again, a lot of people... We're splitting hairs, but a lot of people, like, they didn't leave, they were released, so that's WWE. You should be blaming WWE.
It's a storyline. Shut the fuck up.
Point being. These are also the motherfuckers who... And I don't take this wrong. My opinion. Sitting in their mom's basement... watching wrestling, believing it is 100% real.
Yeah. But Tatum's like, I have nothing. I've lost everything. I can't deal with this betrayal anymore longer. And then she tells Carmen that Thea's gonna leave her because that's what friends do, right? They betray you. So that was a little interesting. Then backstage, Ricky Saints runs into Ethan Page. He says, it's bad enough he lives rent-free in Ethan's head, but now he's going to ruin Miles Bourne's moment as well. It seems like Ethan really loves to rain on people's parades around here. And Ethan's like, I get immense pleasure from taking people's moments from them. To be honest, I thought Ricky would recognize that by now. Ethan wanted to revisit his issues with Ricky, but there's a championship match at Battleground that desperately needs him in it. That way he can restore order in NXT, and Ricky can play second fiddle to him. And Ricky's like, good luck with that, and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how that ends, so. Then we move on to our second match tonight, Tony D'Angelo versus Wesley with the high rise. And this was good back and forth.
Yeah, this was a really good match. Like, like I said,
I'm not a fan of Wesley, but he can move in that ring.
But you know who I have become a fan of? Is D'Angelo. Like, Tony D'Angelo, he can put on a show. Yeah. I'm not going to say he's like...
No.
He's good at NXT. I don't know if main roster, and I know there's a lot of talk of him moving up to the main roster, but I don't know, in my opinion. I think he's great on NXT.
Well, here's my thing, and I know we've talked about this. NXT needs to be the main roster. And I don't mean that as in, like, we, switching whatever, like flipping the rosters or whatever. I mean, because I know we were even talking about it. They just need to bring NXT up to be its own third show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been talk about it for years, and they never pulled the trigger.
Exactly.
They need to, because it's just better. It just is.
But like I said, there's talk of them bringing Tony up to the main roster, and I think Tony is great on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's top level NXT, but when you get into the main roster, he's going to be bottom tier.
I don't know if I'd say bottom tier, but
okay, definitely not main event, pay-per-view.
I think he could be, given the right circumstances. Because, I mean, look at some of the people we've had in the main events. I'm not even talking like WrestleMania this year. I just mean in general. Like, nobody in the right mind would ever be like, oh yeah, they'll be in the main event of WrestleMania, and then they get in the main event of WrestleMania.
You know, matter of fact, we're going to bring that up, and I didn't want to bring this up, but since you brought it up, there's people, I don't remember exactly who, I think I remember, so I'm not going to say in case I am wrong, so I'm just going to say some people have been talking about how wrestling is going. We kind of brought this up.
Oh, God, yeah.
How wrestling is going, and within the next 10 years, I'm pretty sure that both these people will be long gone by then, but the point is still there. We're going to have the main event of WrestleMania will be Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast.
And the sad thing is, I can see that.
And
Yeah, I can
what's
too,
his
but
name? Or actually any like Royal Rumble, whatever, ISO Speed.
Yeah, ISO Speed, Travis Scott, Jelly Roll. Who was the one who beat Damian Priest a few years ago? Was it Bad Bunny?
Yes.
Why? Why is a rapper, a music artist, coming in to WWE and beating one of the top...
Yeah.
I don't know if Damian was a top wrestler back then. He might have been more mid-card, but why... It's terrible. It's truly just awful.
It is. But again, like I said, I wanted to bring it up because it has been talked about, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you kind of
open that door,
you know, of people who really don't deserve to be there but are there anyway.
Yeah. But this match doesn't end properly because halfway through the match, Stax comes up on the monitor, and he's like, "Oh, look where I'm at. I'm outside.
I've been with you for most of your life, blah blah blah."
I know where the safe houses are. We've stashed people here before. I think I'm gonna go pay Lizzo a visit. Rizzo, yeah. And then, you know, while Tony is distracted, Wesley connects with the cardiac kick and gets the victory. And then as soon as
it's over, D'Angelo bolts.
Yeah,
he's like gone, gets in the car,
and
he's like, drive to the safe house now.
Yeah. And then we have a big net with Stephanie Vakir, Fatal Influence. Or no.
We have the OTM vintage, which OTM, they remind me of, and I know you're not going to remember, you might remember, oh crap, I can't think of their names. I can see their face.
Well, you do that.
The Crime Time.
Mm.
You remember Crime Time? We just lost him like 4 years ago.
Damn.
One of them. He, I can't remember which one, but he was saving his son. It was a whole big thing. He drowned. He got his son up to shore, like pushed him towards the, like raft or whatever. Got him out of like the tide. And he dipped back under the water, and they found him like 3 days later, washed up on the shore dead. But he saved his son. So it was one of those.
Yeah.
I think I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. Stephanie Vakir comes out to the ring, and she says, "Last week, Jordan became the #1 contender for my NXT Women's Championship Battleground. I have respect for Jordan's journey. She's at the top of TNA, and now she wants to stand on top of NXT."
And then Fallon Henley comes out.
Ugh.
And she's like, gosh, it must be nice to be on top of the world. I mean, everyone and their mom loves Stephanie Vakir. Am I right, guys? Hell, you've been on the top ever since you've gotten here. Again, point. Sorry. You truly are one of a kind. Again, point. Sorry. But you see, what's going on to make your downfall that much sweeter. And sure, You were the infamous double champion, the NXT Women's North American Champion.
And then JC Jane cuts her off and says, "But you and Fallon must both know what a great feeling it is to win that championship. Me, I can't relate. But since you did pin Fallon and beat her to win the Women's North American Champion..."
She did. And Fallon chimes in, it's like, she did. She also beat Julia to become the NXT Women's Champion. So what's your point, JC?
My point is that I don't think this is going to last that much longer.
Well, I agree with you there.
You see, NXT is Fatal Influence's world. A world that you definitely don't belong in. And just think about it. How ironic would it be if Fatal Influence were the ones to take that NXT Women's Championship off your hands?
And then Jordan Grace shows up.
She says, "JC, Fallon, you two can't even get out of each other's way. So how are you out here talking about the NXT Women's Championship? I'm not here to save the day. I'm here to protect my investment. My opportunity."
And instantaneously,
Stephanie
looks at her and she's like, "I'm not your investment."
I guess it's tonight.
"I'm sorry, Jordan. You're not that cool." And JC Jane says, "Oh, you see what I mean? I destroy friendships, and in the process, I flip this division upside down."
And then Fallon chimes in and she's like, "Well, that was in the past. JC, that was the past."
Right, the past. What I was trying to say is you both have collective stamps on your passports. Yes, you're awesome, whatever. But while you were touring the globe, we were here at NXT holding this division down. And now we're the ones that deserve to be at the top of it. And although we usually don't like newbies, I will say, at least Stephanie has taken her opportunities and made them worth it.
And then Stephanie chimes in and she's like, "Jordan failed last time, and she will fail again."
And Jordan says, "Stephanie, a lot of growth you've made in a year. I will beat you at Battleground to become NXT Women's Champion. And nothing, especially not Fatal Influence, is going to stop me. So, if I can take care of you two again tonight, I will. And as for you, Stephanie, I'm going to make 100% sure that you make it to Tampa in one piece."
And then JC chimes in and she's like, "Look, it doesn't matter who walks out of Battleground with the title. You'll be right for the taking. And Fatal Influence will be the ones to do it."
I don't know what the fuck these girls smoking. Because they ain't built like either of these.
I know, right?
They sure as shit ain't built.
These two, and it's become kind of a debate. It's more of, I don't think it's a debate as much of more as...
Excuse me.
Are they going to hold Stephanie in NXT for a little bit longer, or is she going to go up, lose the title, and go up? And I know what your feeling is with it, but I think that is the defining moment of Battleground. Are they moving Stephanie up yet? Are they taking the title? I know you say she needs to give it up, and I 100% agree with that. But on an average basis, they usually lose the title to go up to the main roster.
I know.
Yep.
But you know
So
what,
do we hold off on Stephanie moving up, or do we pull the trigger and move Stephanie up to the main roster?
I'm going to interrupt you a minute.
Oh, hold on a sec.
How do you spell her last name? Hang on, I'm curious now.
Really? Okay, hold on.
Really?
Just type in win-loss record, not even on NXT. Or win-loss record on NXT.
Oh, you son of a snipper napper. Oh, God, my back. Ow.
Match listing with win-loss record. There you go. See if that pulls up NXT.
NXT.
Oh, snap.
31, 1 draw, 4 losses.
Yeah, 86.11% of her matches she has won.
Jesus.
She has only lost 4. Am I following the line? Because I got the microphone in my way.
No, you're right. NXT 4 matches, 1 draw, which I don't know where that
Way
was.
to go, Stephanie back here.
She only had 1 match in AEW. That's interesting.
Well, look at how good she is, though.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of explains it right there.
But yeah.
This is where she's had the most success. Well, no, CMLL. But yeah, she lost 36 matches.
Yeah. But
So I figured that was probably her start.
that was probably before she was in, like, proper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before she became Stephanie Vakir.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so that's interesting. Like I said, she's a force.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, we go backstage and Miles Bourne basically just says, you know, Charlie, no quarter cut true, I want you to stay in the back during my match. I need to do this myself, which...
Yeah, you were impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to, or we come back from a commercial, and then we got Undertaker and Bubba Dudley
Oh, yeah.
having a conversation with Zena Sterling and Tyra May Steele.
And he basically says, you know, congratulations, you both deserve it to have made it this far. Whichever you're in the semifinal, or no, you're in the finals. Whichever one of you wins will get a contract to be here in NXT. And everybody and their grandmother starts swarming like vultures. Like, you don't belong here. You know, when you get here, you're gonna have a target on your back, essentially. Like,
Yeah, Izzy Dame, Nikita Lyons. Is then like, you will not survive the locker room. Then Lash Legend, Lola Vice Center.
yeah, Lash is
And
giving
they're
up her
like, you
spot.
got a spot. You're not giving up her. She's not giving up her spot.
I'm gonna force either of you to do another season of LFG. And the Undertaker's like, whoever wins on Sunday is gonna have their work cut out for them. But you know what? Shit, brain's not working. Xena, she got it.
Yeah.
She got it.
And then we get a clip of D'Angelo getting the camera guy.
Yeah, they're heading off towards their safe house. And then we go to our third match of the night, Miles Bourne versus Ethan Page in a number 1 contenders match for the WWE NXT Championship. And this was a great...
Hi.
What is up? Oh,
Hello.
I don't remember who that is.
That's the lady.
Oh, you're...
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. I was like, I know they've been in there once before.
But yeah, this was a great match, honestly. They were putting on a show. They were showing...
Yeah, it was. It was really, really good.
They were showing what Miles had in the tank. You know, counter... there's not anything, like, specific to go over. Because they're both pretty, like...
They're both pretty good. Like
Exactly.
But you know what? I am going to tell you what impressed me. Again, and I know it's going to sound really stupid. Miles Bourne impressed me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I'm not going to say he was beating the hell out of Ethan Page.
But he was...
He was doing good.
Yeah.
Like, he was holding his...
Yeah.
Yeah, he was holding his own. I mean...
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm interested to see what he's going to do against Oba. Because Oba, different kind of beast.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
And I don't know if you watch NXT or not, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is
Miles-
NXT.
Miles...
If you're not and you watch wrestling, watch AEW. I don't care. NXT is just built different. Like, everybody on there is just built different.
Yeah,
like,
but-
it was a better show, better quality. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I think it was Will Ospreay. I think.
You
And
think?
He's in AEW. And Lexus King got into a battle on X.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I will forever and ever be AEW. He's like, oh, so you want to be in the minors of the minors of the minors of the minors? Good for you. Because I'm a professional. And was it wrong? Yes, but it's...
Yeah.
Exactly.
AEW is a sinking ship.
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
But Miles retains his number 1 contendership with a roll-up. I think it was just a roll-up.
Yeah, it was pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jackknife hold. I'm sorry. I assume his finisher signature. And Ethan is shocked. Like you know what? I will give Ethan his credit. I was expecting him to lose his shit and attack him. He didn't, so I'll give him something. And then I believe this is backstage. Javon Evans has a confrontation with Ashante Adonis in the locker room. You know, he says Adonis says that Evans shouldn't be giving people from Evolve the time of day.
Which with the Sean Legacy.
Yeah, because he was talking to Sean Legacy about, giving him that match. And Evans says, like, I haven't forgot where I came from. There's a lot of dogs in the independent scene. And Adonis says that he would smoke both Evans and Sean Legacy. And then Ricky Saints comes up and he's like, you know what? I like the sound of that. You know what? I'm going to go talk to Aver. And the winner of Evans, Adonis, and Legacy can meet him on the other side of NXT Battleground. So I think that's going to be a push. My opinion. I'm assuming there's going to be a push.
For Sean?
I was going to say Javon Evans.
Well, yeah, Javon Evans, too.
Because, especially if we're going with the theory that, they want to push Ricky Saints up to the main roster, have Javon come in, take his title, Ricky goes up to the main roster.
I don't think they're quite ready for that one yet.
Well, I know they were talking about pushing him really fast, too.
Yeah, him and Jordan Grace are both supposed to be moving up pretty quick.
Rev.
But I think, I definitely do believe that
Rev 6.
Stephanie needs to go first.
Oh, absolutely.
Screensavers.
And like I said, I don't think, and I know it's probably not going to happen, she needs to vacate the title. Like, you know what? I've taken on the best, the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the fastest, the toughest sons of bitches in this locker room, and any of y'all shit. So, here, you can have the title. I'm going up to play with the big dogs. That's just my opinion, though. Because, like I said, she built different.
Oh, 100%. But anyway, then we get to...
Stacks.
We
cut to the safe house.
We cut to the safe house, and Stacks is like...
He ambushes Tony the Dawn from behind as he arrives at Riz's house. He's like, I know every move, D'Angelo. I know every move you're going to make, D'Angelo. Now you're a desperate Dawn with no family. Nothing. I made the choice to embarrass you at Stand and Deliver. At Battleground, I plan on taking you out and putting an end to the D'Angelo family once and for all. So,
again, there's a lot of talk that that's where Lucia is going. Because he's going to follow Tony D'Angelo to the main roster, and they're going to create the family
up there. You know what? I don't know. I really don't want to see that. Never mind.
I think it's good.
No. I agree. I wasn't saying I don't want to see the family. I was just thinking, because for some reason when you said the family, my brain thought of the bloodline. And I was like, are they going to make them fight the bloodline? But the bloodline doesn't exist anymore, thank God.
Kinda not.
It shouldn't. It's terrible. Anyway. But if Tony D'Angelo goes up to the main roster, I think it'd be interesting.
But like I said, there's talk that that's what they're waiting for Lucia to pull the trigger with Lucia. Like, he finds in the last episode and is like, we're done here. It's time to move on to something better. Blah,
you know what would be really
whatever.
interesting? And I'm completely spitballing bullshit. But I know we've been talking significantly about Finn Balor splitting away from the Judgment Day, creating his own faction to go against the Judgment Day becoming faces, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And, once again, random bullshit. Imagine for a moment Finn Balor and his group take out the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day splits up. Liv and Raquel go on their own way. Dom goes on his own separate way. And then you have Finn's new group running around causing havoc. Who's going to step up to take care of them? The D'Angelos. I don't know. Never going to happen, but...
Hey, you know what?
You never know.
That's better than some of the crap that we get on the main roster now.
But,
exactly.
How many times have we seen, let's see, Tiffany versus Nia Jax? how many times have we seen... Now,
Come on now. Exactly.
The Gunther versus Jay. How many times have we seen Naomi versus Jade?
Or LA Knight
Exactly.
versus
Solo?
Yeah.
Or, before it was Shinsuke?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know what? Here's the thing. I love LA Knight as champion. But either give him the championship or don't.
Yeah. Either make him United States champion, make him a fighting champion, or don't. He doesn't need to constantly be in the number one contender spot trying to get the title back.
It's really pick your poison and
Go
run.
with it. Yeah. But it is what it is. We move on to the fourth match of the night.
And this was really good. Like I'm not gonna say it was the best match, but it was good because
Thea Hale versus Tatum Paxley.
And I liked it. I think what they need to do, and I know it's gonna sound really weird for anybody who doesn't watch this stuff.
Exactly.
Tatum Paxley needs to be a Wendy Chu, a Rosemary, like that dark presence. Like I'm in that dark place, and
yeah,
just
like the mind games, the all that stuff. I agree. That'd be really fun.
I think that's where Tatum needs to go. I think that's the evolution of her character in my mind. And I think putting her into where she's like NXT's dark girl.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old school Undertaker, the mind games, to where, like, when she shows up, the lights go out, and suddenly she's, like, in the ring behind them type shit, choking them out.
But near the end of the match, Paxley grabs the bottom rope to force the break. She blocks the super kick from Paxley. Then she goes for another Kimura lock, but Paxley rolls her over for a 2 count. Hale super kicks her, Paxley, and then hits the 51-50.
Yeah, 51-50.
Whatever that is. Then she reapplies the Kimura lock. But Paxley starts attacking Hale's left eye, which forces the disqualification. And then after the match, Paxley is just mauling Hale.
Yeah.
And she has to be restrained by the referee. So Thea Hale wins via disqualification. Then we go back to the women's locker room. Jada Parker isn't here to listen to Kalani Jordan's bitching. Kalani wants to know why Zarya speared her through a barricade last week. Is it because Zarya is threatened, or is she just jealous that Sol Ruka caught her? Sol apologizes. She didn't know that was going to happen. Zarya says that they don't have to apologize to her. She beats Kalani fair and square last week. Kalani can bitch all she wants because the results don't change. But Kalani wants to run it back next week. If she wins, she wants a shot at Sol's NXT Women's North American Championship at NXT Battleground. Sol accept the challenge on behalf of Zarya. But Zarya
just that's
oh yeah.
You can see the like what you said. I think it's gonna wait a little bit. I think they're gonna wait a little bit to pull the trigger.
But Zarya's gonna flip a switch.
But she's gonna be like, I've beaten everybody for you. You've not defended that title against anybody because of me.
So now I want my shot.
Now I get my shot at your title.
Mm-hmm. And I'm interested to see if that's going to be the end of their tag team.
I'm pretty sure it will be.
Probably. But it'd be really interesting if, it's not. Like, they go on, they have their match, and it's like, for fucks, you won. And then they go on and, like, win the tag team. Wait, they don't have... I forget. They don't have women's tag...
No, it's one tag team, which really is weird.
Yeah.
Because the women have tag team titles through all three, and the men have each.
Yeah, like they have a Raw, SmackDown...
Yeah.
Wait... Yeah, there's only one women's tag team titles.
Yup. And they defend it through all three.
That's so weird. That's so strange.
But anyway.
To be fair, I guess there aren't that... No, there's... I guess there's just not that many to warrant having different titles. I don't know.
Anyway. We get to the Joe Hendry, Trick Williams contract signing.
Yeah,
And this actually, it was a little heated, but it wasn't like most of them.
Yeah.
Because Ava kind of was like, nope, stop. The minute it started even remotely boiling over, which we'll get to.
She starts off by saying, thank you for both being here.
Which they're not in the ring, they're like in the backstage office.
Yeah, I assume this is all pre-recorded. But she says, thank you both for being here for this historic Battleground contract signing. For the first time on a WWE PLE, the TNA World Championship will be on the line. A brand that just celebrated 23 years and a title that has been held by the likes of AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, LA Knight, and Bubba Ray Dudley. It all happens at Battleground.
And then Trick Williams says, you did this to yourself, Joe. You took my opportunity at what was most important to me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take what means the most to you. And that's that TNA title. You should have stayed in your sweet spot where you was getting your flowers. You was the man at TNA. But next Sunday, we're going to do Battleground, and that's my house.
Well, and then Joe comes back and says, well, if anyone should know about breaking out, taking risks, having the confidence to do or to be more, it's you. But somewhere along the line, you've forgotten that. Instead, you're bitching about what you deserve or what should have been handed to you.
And then Trick Williams is like, I can handle you an ass whooping right. I can hand you an ass whooping right now.
Ava says, I don't care who did what. I have security outside the door. Do not make me call them in here. Sit down, both of you, and sign this.
That's what I was saying. Like, as soon as they started getting up and getting...
Like, shut the fuck up and do your damn job, you fucking little
You have
children.
one thing to do, and she slides the...
And Joe comes back and says, you know, TNA is the hottest it's been in years. And that's because every morning I wake up and my goal is to make this the biggest brand it could possibly be. And that means me as the champion. I've defended this against TNA wrestlers, NXT superstars, and I have put them down. Don't you understand that? Next Sunday, the TNA World Championship will be on the line on a WWE PLE. Do you understand how big that is?
And then Trick Williams is like, of course, I know, Joe, because I'm in the match. This match will be historic because of me. And there's something you need to realize, Joe. You're a social media sensation. Trick Williams is bigger than NXT. I'm bigger than TNA. Hell, I'm bigger than both of them combined. Damn it, I'm Hollywood Trick. And I don't have to tear... Oh, I lost my place. And I don't have to tear you down or mess with you to believe. Because the truth is, every man has his 15 minutes of fame. Except for Trick Williams. And next Sunday, I'm taking your fame. I'm going to take your title, and I'm going to take your brand.
I want to know what the fuck this man is smoking.
And then he signs his name on the contract and pushes over to Ava.
And Joe says, no one is more confident than Trick Williams.
Let's talk about it.
I'm sorry to upset you,
talk
though.
about
Yes, you've main evented Stand and Deliver back-to-back years. So maybe this isn't the biggest match of your career, but it is the most important because you're at crossroads. There's no pathway for you back to the NXT Championship. And after I beat you for this, well, then the TNA World title goes away as well. And then the number one superstar has no pathway to gold. And that's where the doubt creeps in. And you find out that as fast as your star rose to the top, it could come crashing back down. So if anyone is going to find out what it's like for their 15 minutes of fame to expire, it's Trick Williams. He signs the contract and he says, thank you.
And then we have Josh Briggs sitting down in the locker room, kind of like the mopey feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like, basically, Imahara going back to in Noah.
Yeah, Hank and Tank come up. They're like, we got your back, man.
And then Shawn Spears walks in. And he says, Briggs doesn't know what he's got until it's gone. When it comes to relationships, Briggs a cancer.
And Tank's like, this is not the time or the place.
And then Sean goes, Briggs could change before you should change before it consumes you and explodes, and you explode.
Briggs like, I got a lot on my mind right now, and I don't need your wisdom. But you know what? I do have a pretty good idea of how to clear my head. And then he goes off, and we're pretty sure that's just a match for next week against Shawn Spears. So.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors telling Ava that they're ready for some competition on behalf of Chase University. And they'll have their first match next week, and it'll be against the returning OTM. I don't know who that is. But whoever it is apparently a big deal because Mr. Chase is pissed.
Yeah, he's like, what the beep, beep?
Who is OTM? Out the Mud, known as OTM, as a professional wrestling staple. Huh. Yeah, I've never heard of these guys.
Yeah, could we get done live streaming Owl Race?
I've never heard of these guys. But next week on NXT, there will be a Joe Hendry concert and a Trick Williams rap performance. Kalani Jordan battles Zarya plus Javon Evans collides with Ashante, the Adonis, and Shawn Legacy in a triple threat match. And whoever wins that match gets a match against Ricky Saints after Battleground, right? And then we get to the main event.
Our star.
Stephanie Vakir and Jordan Grace versus Fatal Influence
Because
with...
it's raining here,
And
so I
again,
can't do nothing else.
like I'm going to say, this was probably the match.
Yeah. And you know what? I will give Fatal Influence their props. Because they were dominating for a large majority of this match. Simply because Stephanie and Jordan aren't a tag team. They don't know how to work together, you know.
It almost sounds like it might be Halo. It's raining pretty hard.
I mean, they did say we're supposed to get hail, so... But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, for a large majority of this match, Fatal Influence is dominating. Like, they are whooping Vakir, they are whooping Jordan, simply because Jordan and Vakir don't know how to work as a tag team. But eventually... Grace headbutts Henley, and then she hits with the spinning back fist, connects with the beast mode to pick up the victory. So Stephanie Vakir and Jordan Grace get the win over Fatal Influence. And then after the match, Grace hands the NXT Women's Championship back to Vakir.
Yeah, I can hear it dinging now.
Yeah, so we're getting some pretty bad hail. But, and then before the show goes off the air, we go backstage to Ethan Page viciously attacking Ricky Saints as the show goes off. And he says, I told you we were going to run this back, or something to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I told you we picked the story back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something along those
Now I
lines.
hear it. Again.
And then we go...
To TNA from last night.
Yep, and we start off with Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford versus Nikita Lyons and Masha Slamovich.
And I don't know what the fuck was in Masha's brain.
I don't either. Cause
I know where she was trying to go, and Nikita got in the way. But because Tessa Blanchard has done pissed a lot of people the hell off.
Oh yeah.
Like, in the ring and out of the ring.
But yeah, it's an okay match, but it doesn't really go anywhere because halfway through, well, I guess not, what would have normally been halfway through the match, Tessa slides a chair into the ring to Victoria, but Masha gets it and hits it against Victoria's back. The referee calls for the bell. Nikita's not pleased. Santino comes out and says the fans deserve to see a result. So he orders the match to restart, but then Robert Stone comes out, cock blocks him. He's like, no, the decision stands.
Which I think they should have went on ahead and had the match.
Oh, I agree, but Robert Stone is a trifling little prick, so...
Trifling little prick.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Anyway. So, Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford get the disqualifications win. And then we go to a in-depth sit-down interview with Cody Deaner, who talks about the importance of his match coming up at TNA Under Siege.
Yeah, and he basically is talking about like how it's
well, basically the last match of his career. Like,
yeah,
he has to win this match.
And then Santino will have something to go to the board and be like, look.
Keep him going. Keep his contract running. And we all know he's going to win the match. So, I mean,
it depends on if they're inside there going to let him go or not. But
I feel like, I mean, maybe, but I feel like
they're building it up too much.
Yeah, like if they were going to release him, they just release him. Everybody else got released. I know that was WWE, which gets the point.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make it a storyline of him getting released and then actually release him.
Are you?
No, I looked at my bank.
But then we go to our second
match.
match.
About that later.
We get the second match of the night: the Great Hands, John Skyler and Jason Hodge,
Talk about other than them broke.
versus the Rascals. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good back and forth match. The Rascals making a comeback.
It was a good match, but I think the biggest, maybe not the biggest, but probably my favorite match was a little bit later.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
but other reasons.
Once again, unfortunately, we can never have a match end fairly anymore because Mustafa Ali has to get involved.
Which I don't.
Oh.
He's
hit rock bottom. And
I'm
a trifling little prick.
You know, I here's my thing with Mustafa Ali. I want to say Mufasa for some reason. That's Lion King. So my brain tried to correct.
But yeah, Ali gets involved, which lets the Great Hands get the win.
Yeah,
and then after the match, Ali just starts attacking the Rascals.
And even the Great Hands were like,
"Get the fuck are you doing, bro? We're not.
Wait, hold on."
Yeah.
And Texas Steel was even like,
yo, bro, you need to chill the fuck out. Yeah. But then Ace Austin comes down to the ring with, I don't even know what the fuck he had, like a little dinky ass stick. He had a little dinky ass stick and was waving it around like it was a big fucking like baseball bat or steel chair or something. I'm like, what the fuck? What is that? What is that?
You made such a point on this, and it was so funny.
It's like this big.
It was probably a hand size.
It's not even a baton. Like, at least a baton, like you can whack someone upside the head with that. At that point, just punch them in the face. Like, what is this little dinky stick gonna do better than your hand? Nothing.
Oh God.
Anyway,
you were right, but it was one of those moments. I noticed it, but it didn't click until you're like, what are you gonna do with that?
Like, what the fuck? It's not even about like a police baton. At least you could come down with like a baton or a baseball bat. I don't know, something. Nah, I got a little stick.
It wasn't a stick. It was a metal pipe, but. Again,
exactly.
It could have only been...
Cut out the tire iron. Like, what it just...
Probably thumb length apart.
I don't get it.
It was... If you fit it in the palm of his hand, it came out...
Exactly.
That much.
Yeah. So, I really don't get what the whole...
I don't know what the purpose of that
Anyway.
was. But, yeah, so there was that.
After that, we had the TNA International Championship Eliminator. We had Matt Cardona.
But okay, before we get to that, the Great Hand Austin got attacked, like his knee, whatever.
Oh, that's right, backstage by the. Yeah.
He ran down to make the save and he got hurt, and they saw him backstage.
Oh yeah, well it says that right after the.
Gets cleared by medical
to go out, and we have the TNA International.
Or he doesn't get cleared by medical. Like, you can't go out there. He's like, I got a match.
Yeah, it's like, I got a yeah, and he goes out, and we have a like I said, TNA International Championship Elimination match with Matt Cardona, Mance Warner, Ace Austin, and Elijah. And this is like for a Fatal 4-Way, it's all right. It's nothing to write home about. You know, not like the women's Fatal 4-Way at Stand and Deliver, but then again, that's like you can't be aiming up to be that, because that was just like that's S tier content right there.
Exactly.
But yeah, Mr. Chelsea Green won.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona,
Yeah.
aka Zack Ryder in WWE.
Matt
Mhm.
Cardona. He hits Radio Silence finisher on Austin for the pin, and then he has a TNA International title shot. And Cardona,
Yep.
good luck, buddy, because we've seen what Steve Macklin is able to push himself through. You
Mhm.
ain't built like that, buddy. Or maybe he is, but I don't think he is.
But in this.
Oh yeah. We go backstage and Tessa Blanchard is talking to Ariana Grace.
And she's basically like, you're nothing here. Go back to NXT.
Yeah.
Because you haven't had any matches in TNA. You're not even that good. I mean, she's just insulting her.
Yeah, and Ariana Grace, like, I don't even know what she says, but she's basically like, shut the hell up. And then Tessa just slaps the shit out of her.
Mhm.
And we get to that a little bit later. And Tessa just walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who comes up. But she's like, are you okay? And she's like,
Don't touch me.
don't touch me. Don't talk to me. I
Like-
have to go. I have to go. And she gets up and
She's
it cuts.
heated, yeah. And then we come back with Tom Hannafan does a live advertisement their Border Brawl show. And then backstage we see the liaison. Ariana Grace is not happy about Santana and Merletti Authority being overturned by Robert Stone in regards to the Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford win. Blanchard says she's sick of Ariana's mouth and... Oh, right, we just talked about that.
Smacks the crap out of her, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, then we go to the first class penthouse with Oshia Jackson Jr. First class comes out and they're basically insulting.
They're like, listen, all these people that come from LA, and I'm not even going down the list because it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
They start hyping even the what's the word for it, like the review, what's it called, that you just put on here so we can read it, what's it called?
Transcript.
Yeah, even the transcript is like, then they hit the usual pop culture insults for the cheap heat with some rap and basketball references before bragging about how they always bring the best when they show up. Like, they're just bad. They hype up their special guest as a bona fide movie star. They introduce Oshia Jackson Jr., the son of Ice Cube in recent TNA Rebellion 2025 pre-show
I didn't know
panelist.
that's who he was.
I didn't either. But he comes out wearing a first class T-shirt, which Francis and Navarro quickly show off, and
he throws AJ's hand off of him.
yeah, and he's like, Jackson tells him that he might think that he's Suge Knight, but he looks more like a broke ass Uncle Phil. Then the crowd starts chanting Uncle Phil. I mean,
And then he gets like, they're basically, like I said,
they're just making fun of each other
and
until
then
Santino
they're like,
comes.
you got a problem, why don't you take it up with us? And he's like, you know what? And then
Santino Morella's music.
no, the other one, Mike Santana.
That's what I meant. It is Santana.
Yeah, Mike Santana.
Yes, it's very similar names. He makes his way down to the crowd as always, and Navarro and Francis complain about being interrupted. Santana chases them back without saying anything. He and Jackson Jr. shake hands and pose for the crowd. And for the crowd to end what was actually the first tolerable first class penthouse segment ever.
But anyway, then we get to Indy Hartwell
Versus Kesley Heather.
which another jobber.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's not, I never really see her except for
Jobbing.
jobbing.
No. Like I said, you gotta start somewhere, though, so.
But, so, I mean, of course, Indy wins that one.
Yeah. And then...
But she's shown backstage, and this, after the match, she's shown backstage.
About getting her first TNA wrestling match and the win and the books tonight. And then as she sits down, she's cut up by Tasha Steelz. Steelz puts her hand in Hartwell's face and says, I don't know
why you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. You know,
I'm sure
it's a cute promo, but she claims to have more important matters to discuss. She turns to the camera and mentions that Mustafa Ali has been kicked out of the building. Before she can say anything else, Hartford stands up and cuts her off. Says, I just had a successful debut, and Steele's going to have the audacity to take her camera time. And Tasha's like, you know what? Since I'm so busy right now, I'll deal with you later. And like I said, I don't know anything about Indy Hartwell, except that she's from Australia and she worked at Toys R Us.
And she was in TNA for a while. Or not TNA, but WWE for a while.
But if I'm Hartwell, as soon as Tasha goes to walk away, bitch! That's for taking my TV time. That shit don't grow on trees.
Exactly.
And here's where I thought the best match was.
Rosemary versus Xia Brookside. Absolutely. Because it finally works.
Xia finally flipped the switch.
Yep. Because Rosemary is not toying with her, but toying with her throughout the match.
Yeah, she she grabs the brass knuckles.
And slides him to her.
And she pushes them to her.
Yeah.
And she kind of keeps trying to push them away.
And then eventually, near the end of the match, Rosemary is lining up with the green mist. And Xia does a double chop to her throat, and Rosemary's like, and
basically swallows the. She gets her here, but I think she swallowed more of the mist.
Yeah, and then I don't know if she actually did or if it was just for stage, but either way, that's the idea. And then she falls over the apron and starts spitting it up, and Zaya's like, "Nah, bitch, get back here!" Grabs her by the hair, and beating the shit out of her to the point where the referee tries to pull her off, and she's like, "Get off me!" and just keeps beating her ass. The ref calls for the bell, I'm pretty sure, disqualification. Yeah. And then they both just start beating the hell out of each other. So Rosemary technically gets the win via disqualification.
But she's just smiling when it's all done.
Yeah.
I mean, Rosemary just has this biggest smile on her face,
but yeah,
I finally got you.
Lei Ying Lee ends up running out and chasing Rosemary away. She stands tall in the ring. But like you said, Rosemary just has this grin on her face.
As they say, a shit-eating grin on her face. She just got done eating the greatest dinner of all time.
And then when the show returns, Ariana Grace demands a match against Tessa
Blanchard. She's back talking to Santino, and she's like, "Dad, I need this match." And he's like, No. She is...
she's dangerous, but he's like, "You know what? I'll do it." And then Robert Stone's like, "You know what? That might be the first intelligent idea you've had since I've come here." So, still, like I said...
But he doesn't like the idea, but he's like, "I'll give it to you." Yeah.
But like I said, it's just a snobby little prick.
And then we just get the highlights for next...
Battleground, the self-proclaimed king of TNA goes
Nick
on.
Nemeth versus Jeff Hardy. And this was actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is a great fight. 16 years in the making...
I like both of them. I've never been a huge Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth fan, but I've never not liked him.
Yeah.
I've never been like, "Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler."
But I've never been like, "Ew, Dolph Ziggler." Yeah, I get you.
It's never been I respect the character.
Yeah, I respect the character. He's pretty good in the ring too.
Yeah, he is.
He's not someone you'd be like, "Oh, they're S tier in that ring," but I'd say he's a solid B, A tier.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is. There's nothing really to write home about, but it's just a good, solid
back
fight.
And forth, fight.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but No, he was down there. I was gonna say I don't think his
Yeah,
both brothers were down
Both
there.
brothers were down
But
there.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad they didn't get involved because it would have been so easy. It would have made sense. But I'm so glad they didn't. I'm so glad they let this fight just play out as it did. That I have respect for. So, good on them. But obviously, we end the match with where is it?
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, hits him hits him with the twist of fate. He falls with a swanton bomb, and covers Nemeth for the pinfall.
And then
victory.
I called this as soon as he got the pinfall. I was like, now the other two brothers are gonna jump in and start. And
Yeah, they attack him, but then Leon Slater runs out to make the save. So Jeff still picks up the win. They're still standing tall at the end of it.
But Leon Slater has announced that he's going to be the one to replace Jeff.
Jeff at
Which I pretty well already knew that.
Yeah.
And then what time we got? We're at 4:11. We probably can do this at 4:30.
Yeah, we just have some stuff over here on NXT or not NXT on Discord. We're just gonna run through it all super quick because.
Well, I'm not going to say run through it super quick. But
We're just gonna go through it. But we're just gonna go over here to Discord. Don't pay attention to the 15 billion notifications. It's his Discord, not mine. Anyway.
15 billion. There ain't 15 billion. There's 8.
You have 6 direct messages, 3 on the kid. You have a lot. I don't understand it. Anyway. After tonight's loss to AJ Styles is obviously referring to SmackDown next week or last week. No, Monday night, right?
Yeah, they're on Raw.
Yeah. Finn Balor is now 2-18 in his last 20 televised singles matches.
I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
For somebody who's supposed to be
one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely an interesting. Okay. Anyway. And apparently The Miz says I get lessons from George Genghis. My daughter gets lessons from me. I love that Maddie asked me to go golfing. I'm still not sure if it's to practice or for candy. New Miz Golfer out tomorrow on YouTube. Link in bio. And then, according to WrestleVotes, WWE Evolution 2 is expected to feature 7 to 8 matches in the card, plus a battle royale to make sure everyone gets a spot. No more 5-match PLEs. Thank you. Though, you know what? Even though Backlash only had 5 matches, at least all 5 were good. So, you know what?
Yeah.
Even if we only get 5 matches per pay-per-view, as long as they are good, quality matches, I will be content.
Happy. 100%.
We learned that Jake the Snake Roberts had undergone heart ablation surgery. We also find out later that he is thankfully recovering. He is out of the hospital, so he is fine for now.
And this we kind of talked a little bit about.
Yeah, Shawn Legacy is wrestling next Tuesday on WWE NXT. Triple threat between him, Javon Evans, and Adonis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adonis.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure Trick Williams is winning this. My opinion. Maybe they will give it to Shawn, but I don't think so.
I see either one.
Yeah.
But it's a matter if they're going to move him up to the
NXT
or not.
But like you said, I know you weren't a fan of him, but
like I said, I'm interested.
I would not be mad at a Javon Evans push.
I wouldn't either.
Because especially after we saw it Stand and Deliver.
Well, okay, here's the thing. When we first started watching this,
and he was going against Ethan Page.
It was just crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it was crap. That's not the right word. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah. Because he was mainly just brawling, and he's not a brawler. As we've seen, he is a bouncy-ass, high-flying son of a bitch.
But, yeah, he impressed me over the last couple weeks.
Like I said, he is another one where it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he gets a world title, main events, WrestleMania, all of that.
I agree.
So, I would not be mad. And like I said, I can especially see it because, like we said, at least according to everything we've heard, planning to push Ricky Saints up to the main roster as quick as possible. So I can see Javon coming in, winning this, taking his title, and then Ricky Saints going up to the main roster, possibly.
But again, like we said,
and this was just interesting. Stephanie Vakir and Miles Bourne appear to be dating after photos emerged of Miles introducing her to his family. So, whether or not that's true,
if they're friends, great. Whatever. If they're not,
if
great, whatever.
if they're dating, congratulations. If they're just friends, congratulations. You know, as long as y'all are having a good time, who the fuck cares?
And we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, NXT will feature a Joe Hendrick concert and a Trick Williams rap performance. I'm concerned.
Well, we know Joe Hendry does pretty good.
Yeah.
Trick Williams, a little concerned about.
I feel like he's gonna do all right. I don't think he would come out there. I mean, maybe he would. Maybe that's gonna be part of the joke, because he can't rap, and he's maybe he'll be great. I don't know, but it'll be interesting either way. And then, like we said, we have Tony D'Angelo versus Stax at Battleground Tampa, May 25th. Jake is okay. He is out of the hospital. The CW president, Brad Schwartz, has described WWE NXT as an absolute game changer for both the network and WWE, saying that the two sides are constantly in communication about new ways to expand their relationship. It's been an absolute game changer for the CW. Who could have guessed?
Have we not been screaming this? If you are not watching NXT, and we've had some people on here, and I'm not trying to be mean and call you out, but we've had some people on here who are like, well, I just care about Raw, I just care about SmackDown, I just care about the main roster, I don't watch NXT. You are missing the absolute S-tier show for WWE.
Exactly.
No, it is not S-tier. It is like S++++.
I agree.
If you are not watching NXT, you're missing
The
best wrestlers
Because, like I've said,
in WWE today.
name a single bad match.
Exactly. Like, all these matches are in the storylines.
Yes. Here's the thing. On NXT, you're guaranteed, at the absolute bottom of the barrel, an okay match.
Yeah.
At the absolute bottom of the barrel, an okay match. And at the absolute best, stuff that outshines WrestleMania main events. And I'm not even talking, like, the crap main events we got this year. I'm talking, like, some of the best WrestleMania main events we've ever gotten, NXT can stand toe-to-toe with.
And we've said it before, we will say it again and again and again. Until next year, maybe it'll change. But as it sits for this year, Stand and Deliver outshined WrestleMania by like 1,000,000%.
But it was a landslide.
Yes.
But back on to things. Per WrestleVotes, Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis is likely the current plan for SummerSlam 2025. I'm interested to see this. Genuinely. Because I have never seen Nick Aldis wrestle, so I'm interested to see what he can do.
He was TNA.
Lillian Garcia says she'll be announcing on Saturday Night Main Event, so that's going to be good for her. And this one's on here a few times, but I will only bring up the one time. Women's wrestling fans, women deserve better. In the same breath, she's sleeping with her boss, that's why she's where she is. She should retire, she doesn't deserve it. She's handed everything and never worked for anything. I hope she gets injured. You guys are the real reason it's so difficult to be taken seriously as a women's wrestler. If you put as much effort into your own miserable lives as you put into degrading successful women, then maybe you would accomplish something yourself. Fair fucks.
You know, and that's the thing. These women in WWE, and we've said it before, are dominating.
I agree.
Yes.
They're not giving these women near enough push.
No, they're not.
When they're putting on better matches than the men.
And consistently, even main roster is stepping up.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I feel on NXT...
Exactly.
And I've said this time and time again. On NXT, I feel it's more even. The women are still better, but not by a lot. On the main roster, I feel like it's pretty significant.
Yeah. And now that they're moving, like, Julia... And Roxanne Perez. And Stephanie has shown up on there a couple times. That
Exactly.
women's roster is going
Yeah, and the men's roster is just sort of
stall.
Plummet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bailey revealed on X that she took several of the recently released WWE superstars out for dinner.
I just thought that was neat. I thought that was really cool. It was more of one of those things I liked.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I thought that
exactly.
was really sweet of her.
When it comes to promos and wrestling, there's only one GOAT who's always had it and always will, and that's my close friend, Killer Cross. I agree.
But here's the thing. Why I wanted to bring that point up is Cross is the bar. When it comes to promos, if you're not watching Cross on promos or watching him
Exactly.
on X,
Oh, yeah.
you're missing a whole side of it. There's quite a few things about Cross in it because I am a big Karrion Kross fan.
Oh, I know.
I absolutely love the character of
He's great.
Are you pulling it? Go ahead and pulling it up.
I'm just pulling up this one because I want to see if there's anything extra it said. Joe Hendry confirms he's in his contract here with TNA. I assume that means this
To
is
the end.
the end of his contract and he's going to be either re-signing.
Which is a lot of talk that WWE is offering him considerable chunk.
Oh, yeah, I would assume so.
Mhm.
And everybody is also saying that if he does, he's already done NXT.
Yeah.
And he's already now a TNA champion. We're talking main roster day one.
Yeah. Well, here, look.
I mean,
I feel like he's good on TNA. Because here's the thing. Let's be honest. If he was going to WWE and he went in NXT, sure, golden, fucking golden goose of the crop. He goes to the main roster.
they're gonna lose him in the shuffle.
Yeah, he might be in the the main roster. He might be like top tier for a year, 2, and then he'll get lost.
Yep.
Somebody new will come up and take his Oba or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing a name out there.
Yeah. So I feel like, honestly, he's better just sticking with TNA.
I
Yep.
don't think it's gonna happen.
Probably
I don't
not.
either.
Because, like I said,
Money,
WWE has the
money speaks volumes. We're still live, I believe. I think I should probably do that. But I think this is just a... If we're not, then we might be fucked. But I'm pretty sure we're still live. Because it says we're still live. I think it's just because the internet's... You want to check on your side, just to be safe? Give us just a moment. No, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because...
Well, go to that. It wasn't about that, but I like this. All of us just fall to our knees. Being Stephanie Vakir, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, she's...
Yep. Exactly.
Again, like we have
Stephanie
said, and I will
Vakir
say
built
this 1,000
different.
times every time.
She built different.
I'm not saying pray to her or whatever, but when they say we're not worthy, like the whole Wayne's World
Yeah.
thing,
Yep.
we're not worthy, they fall to the knee, we're not worthy, we're not... That's how everybody should treat Stephanie.
I 100% agree. Like I said, I don't know if there is a single woman in any wrestling roster right now that could step up to her. My opinion. Not Jordan Grace, not Last Legend, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley.
Again, I know we brought this up earlier, but again, I'm going to say this. If she loses the title at Battleground,
she needs to go to the main roster.
it's going to be to go to the main roster.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be for her to try to take the title from Jordan.
No.
Whatever.
She goes to
It goes to the main roster. But do I agree with you? 100%.
She needs
After Battleground, whatever, like they say, we're getting the draft before SummerSlam. I say at SummerSlam she has her official main roster debut. We are officially main roster. When it comes to the draft, she gets moved up. If that's how we're gonna do it, kind of same thing they did with Asuka. Be like, you know what?
I'm vacating.
I'm vacating this title. I just got drafted. I cannot take it with me. I've been told by Ava I can't come back and defend it. I show back up
Mhm.
once in a while, but I will not be here enough to defend it. However,
Mhm.
blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
So therefore, I have to vacate this title.
That's how I would do it. Because
Yep.
we've seen her track record. 4 losses, 86% of the matches she has been in, she has won definitively.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost 4 of them.
Out of what, 40-something matches?
She is that good. I'm not going to say she's another Gunther, but she's another Gunther.
Again, I think Julia would fall better into that
Well,
spot.
I
and
agree,
know
but
that
I mean in the sense of she is... You can count her losses on a single hand.
Yes.
And I know she's only been there for 7 months, but then again, how long has Gunther been here?
Yes.
Maybe a year at most. And Gunther might not
Yeah.
even have as many matches. Because I know he doesn't wrestle every week. In fact,
Stephanie does.
I'm going to look that up right now, because I am genuinely curious.
Uh-oh. Tafari's on one of his...
Missions.
WB... Oh, God. Gunther win-loss record. He might have more matches than her, but
Well, you gotta figure he's been...
Well, I mean in WWE specifically.
Well,
okay, never mind. He's had...
Okay, well...
What? That's not even close to accurate. What?
Hold on. Well, now wait a second. I need you to do something here. Go. You're looking at WWE, 171 matches. Okay?
And 78 losses.
Okay. But... How many losses? 78? That's still 100. But let's go up. Because you're not looking at... Is that all WWE? Or are we splitting it up? Hold on. NXT... Go down. NXT...
13, 3 losses, 1
17. So, okay. Even in NXT, she's done more matches.
draw. Yeah.
Now, I don't know how long he was in the NXT, but I figured that's his whole WWE career.
Probably, yeah. Including UK. Okay, I'm not going through all that. But yeah, I was just curious.
But here's where you got to get to. You have to understand that he has always been a champion. He's made that perfectly clear.
Yeah, 80% of his career in WWE, he's been a champion. And like I said, I don't think she's been a champion quite that large of a portion of her career, but considering she's only been here for 7 months, it's been a pretty decent chunk.
Yeah.
So, and we went over, I go back to this.
We're on the
We
road.
went over this one already, but when Obafemi comes to the main roster, he needs to be in the main event like that.
Yeah, like I said, we already covered that one.
Exactly.
Skylar, talking about Karrion Kross. This is the guy, he's good in the ring and out of the ring. Is great with the crowd and deserves a push. I 100% agree.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley again. And this is
kind of an updated, not new footage, but what everybody saw, but you really couldn't tell.
yeah, like they cleaned it up a bit, focused on the audio a bit more.
So we are going to play this a little bit here.
Yeah, as soon as it'll load.
Turn on the volume. Got the volume
yeah.
on.
I like that even though they're rivals, they're still having fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
Oh, God.
you know,
The Infinite,
are we falling into the infinite?
we were for about half a second. Anyway, WWE planned to hold the draft for SummerSlam, so like I said, Stephanie needs to go up.
Yeah, most definitely.
So like I said, I don't think there's a single woman in NXT right now. And I know you're a big Jordan Grace fan. I don't think there's a single woman.
I'm going to say this. I am a Jordan Grace fan. I have been Jordan Grace fan since she was in TNA. And I was watching it kind of hit and miss. But, in that same breath, do I think Jordan needs to be the one to take the title off her? No.
No.
But I'm telling you, it's going to be what they decide to do.
Oh, I know. And
I hate to say that it's storyline and knowing it's storyline, but it depends. Are they going to move her up immediately, like next week, blah, 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 whatever, or are they going to wait till the draft? Because if they're going to wait for the draft, they need to keep the title on her.
Agreed. Excuse me. But, well, when is... I guess it would be next Saturday, or this... Yeah, next Saturday, right? The 25th?
Yeah.
But, Lady Scarlet doing her first and last Chamber of Horrors with Lady Scarlet and Shotzi.
Okay, here's the thing. I just got done watching this.
Mm-hmm.
It was so hilarious. Because Mia Chen,
Mm-hmm.
she's not having it at all. They're like, oh, go in the suicide bathroom, and if you take a picture, you're supposed to see her like in the mirror behind you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, so Mia, go in there and take a picture. It's like, no. I'm gonna stay out here. Y'all take your pictures in there. I'm gonna stay out here. Oh, there's a demon up in this room. Nope, I'll stay down here. I was the whole entire time. It's like, nope, not having it.
That's
Not.
fine.
I'm out.
This one doesn't say anything, so I will click on it because I don't know what it is.
It was just so funny because she's like, nope, not doing it. Nope. Y'all can go do it. Have fun.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, Booker.
I just thought this was cute. It was one of those because he's always like, oh yeah. So every time she does it to Booker T's fantasy, somebody did it on
20. Yeah, I forgot you can have intergender matches in 2025.
So Booker finally got his wish.
I don't know what the fuck the TKO president is smoking, but he states that WWE's distinction lies in its high-quality, low-volume pay-per-view events. What the fuck about 1 per month, if not 2 to 3 a month, is low volume? And I'll tell you one thing. WrestleMania, sure as shit, was not high quality.
No.
It was in a big stadium. There were a lot of people. They had, the fanciest shit imaginable. But the quality was dog shit. So, I don't know what he's smoking.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion, though. Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair has been pitched heavily for Evolution 2. I would love to see this. Especially if Charlotte is about to change face. But then again, we know they've tried that a bunch of times. And then they're
They need to stick to their gun.
This is WWE we're talking about. We already know they don't have any backbone.
Very true.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. They need to take a hint with what they did with Becky. They tried to turn Becky heel, and it failed. They tried to turn Becky heel, and it failed. This time, it's stuck because they've had a face for her to go against. It's not just, oh, you guys suck, and they're trying to go with that. No. She came out, she was teaming up with, someone who...
They have a reason to hate her.
Yes. We need a reason to like Charlotte Flair, or...
Mm-hmm.
Not Angela. What's her... Audrey? What? Her actual name.
Oh, Ashley.
Ashley. We need a reason to like...
Because there's rumors she wants to go back.
Yeah.
Or she wants to use Ashley, be like, you know what, Charlotte was the queen, blah, blah, blah. I want you guys to see who Ashley is.
Yeah.
There's been talk about it. Whether they pull the trigger on it
honestly,
or not.
my opinion, even if you don't have anyone for her to go against, even if there's no rivalry, even if it's just her coming out like, guys, listen, I'm not the queen anymore. I'm not Charlotte Flair. I'm Ashley Flair. I want you to know Ashley. I feel like that alone would resonate with people. I feel like that alone
to
could...
step down from this high horse that...
Yeah, be like, I might be the queen, I might be a woman's champion, yada, 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 but I'm also a person. Something along...
Yeah.
I feel like humanizing her.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. WWE has plans in the very near future to hold 3 major live events in Mexico, all centered around a show called Super Show Mexico. So I'll be interested to see that. Is that AJ Styles? That looks like AJ Styles. Yeah. And then
I think it's Photoshop in there. But
probably.
I'm not sure.
Actually, no, that definitely is. Because there's no shadows or anything, but anyway. And then this is just like a fan thrown together Evolution 2 card. We obviously have no actual idea, but this is just what people, like something that someone threw up. You know, a battle royale they were talking about. We have Jordan Grace, Stephanie Fakir, and
they got
Julia.
the NXT title on Jordan, which
I don't agree with.
I don't see that.
And then we have Nia Jax versus... Is this Nikki Bella?
She got boobs? Yeah, it's Nikki.
I know. And then we have...
One got a boob job, one didn't.
Yeah. We have Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez. Then we have Becky, Lyra, and Bayley for the Intercontinental Championship. Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley.
Who got the title on? Alexa?
There is none. Neither of them have a title.
Here are some results.
Alexa and Charlotte. Oh. Bliss and Charlotte. Neither of them have a title, Dingeldorf.
See, I can't. The camera's in mine.
Yeah, nice excuse.
It's Bliss and Charlotte. Neither of them have a title. Oh, you mean for Io and Ripley? Io still has the title. Then we have Tiffany versus Natalia. And a triple threat between Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jordan
That
Grace.
needs to happen.
Like I said, none of this is official. This is just a fan thrown together.
I would figure it'd be something to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since people have been talking about it, and then we just have a picture of Xena Sterling. We have the Money in the Bank qualifying matches begin
There is
tonight.
a better one. Go down.
Yeah. This is interesting. Not something that's super important, but I felt like we should bring it up because we were talking about Stephanie. Yeah. Whenever it decides to load.
Excuse me.
Da-da-da. Time the current WWE NXT Women's roster is spent in NXT debut to May 2025. Wendy Chu has been here for 6.3 years.
She's now wrestling on Evolve. So.
Yeah. We have a bunch of other ones, but the main ones I want to talk about, Julia has been here for 8 months. She's already gone up to the main roster. Stephanie Fakir has been here for 7 months. She's already made history as the first ever NXT Women's Double Champion. And I'm willing to bet is going to move up to the main roster within the next month or two.
Yes, very much
Zaria's only been here for 6 months.
Yeah, and she's pretty dominant.
Jordan Grace has only been here for 3 months, and she's already getting a shot at the title, so...
This is the thing. This is what I have been... The three of us have been preaching.
Yes.
NXT is
NXT's the bar. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it really
These
is.
girls, and the same thing with Rhea, when she said that. You know, if you're sitting there...
Tearing these women down, get the fuck...
Go
do something, do something about it with your life. Karen Cross says his shirt will finally be sold in arenas starting next week. First time his items have been sold at venues since NXT. WWE is discussing to have John Cena team up with Travis Scott, who has been training under Booker T for a tag team match at Money in the Bank. Look.
We said this already.
Look.
But go ahead.
I don't know anything about Travis Scott. I've never listened to his music. I know nothing about him.
I don't either.
If he's here to actually be a WWE superstar, and that is what he wants to do permanently.
Like Logan Paul?
No. Logan Paul is a genuine piece of shit. I don't know about
Logan Paul just needs to drop off the face of the earth and be done.
Logan Paul wants to be a wrestler.
Shut up. If Travis Scott actually intends to be a WWE superstar full term, great, awesome, wonderful, go for it. But if he's here for a one-off match here, a one-off match there, go the fuck home.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to see you. And like I said, I have no problem with Travis Scott. But you are taking spots away from actual superstars. You are already a millionaire. You already, multi-platinum, Grammy award-winning, whatever the fuck, rapper, whatever you are. You don't need the money. You don't need the spotlight. You're just doing side quests. Are you okay?
Yeah, you're trying to get out.
These two are having issues over here. Anyway, give these spots to actual superstars who actually deserve them. That's just my opinion.
I have no issue. I have
WrestleVote says that Cody Rhodes is set to return to WWE programming very soon, likely before Money in the Bank, and will be a central focus throughout the entire summer. Everybody was, anybody could see that coming. Zelina Vega said she'll be down to wrestle Stephanie Fakir. I'm sorry, Zelina, you ain't built like that.
Hold on, I want to talk about that one.
Well, hurry up!
We'll get back to that one. Jim Ross has announced that he has been diagnosed with colon cancer. I don't know who Jim Ross is, but nobody likes...
What did you just say?
I said Jim Ross announced that he's been diagnosed with colon cancer.
And what did you say after that? You don't even know who that is?
No. Am I supposed to?
Yes!
I've never heard of his name before in my life.
I'm sorry. I guess we have to have
A talk.
Yeah, we have to have a talk, buddy, because
Yeah.
he wanted to go.
You've been living under a rock there,
he
buddy.
wanted to go when it comes to announcing.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Jerry Lawler.
Oh,
Him and Jerry
shit.
Lawler used to be like the main.
They used to be the bar.
But anyway,
Anyway, you wanted to talk about this.
I would love to see that match.
I would as well.
I'm not saying Stephanie. I'm not saying Stephanie's gonna lose to Zelina Vega by no
But
stretch.
Zelina's gonna give her a fight.
But
Yeah.
Zelina's probably one of them that I think could legit
Take her.
step up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and give her
I
a
mean,
fight.
Again, look at what Io did.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly,
Io stepped the
yes.
hell up.
Yes.
Io stepped up that day.
Yes, she did.
According to Cultaholics Wrestling, WWE reportedly has no plans to turn Cody Rhodes heel, and a number of people within the company are against the idea. Cody's heavy contribution to ticket sales and merchandise success was noted as a reason why people are against the idea. I'm not saying I want Cody to become a heel, but I think it would be great.
But I here's the thing. I think when the trigger is pulled, it has to be
Yeah.
not 99% right. It has to be 100%.
I 100%.
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. They don't need to half-ass. They need to
like
fucking...
I said, especially if they're planning to flip the script with John Cena, because as we all know, this heel run is absolute dog water.
But I think we're going to get. I think things are starting to change.
Oh, I agree, but I'm saying if I don't know, I would really like to see Cody as a heel. I'm not saying I want him as a heel. I like him as a face. He's great, whatever. But I think it would be interesting. WWE legend Tatanka has announced that he will be in attendance at WWE Saturday Night Main Event in Tampa on May 24th. And this, we're not going to show this, but this is just a fun little video of Seth Rollins getting into an argument with Becky over...
I'm not going to say it was an argument. It was a...
mint flavored chocolates. Like, Seth's
Yeah.
like, it's ass.
Mint. Okay. I know... Is Lady still in here?
I have no idea.
I don't think so. I think she jumped offline.
But anyway. Put in the Discord. I want to know who likes Andy's mints.
Exactly.
But
Because, to me,
Andy's mints
they're
are the
great.
bar.
Like, I'm not going to say they're the bar, but
I mean, as
there's
far as
been times
chocolate
I've gone
goes...
out and bought them and...
Anyway. But for Under Siege, we have Tessa Blanchard versus Ariana Grace, and I want Ariana to beat the shit out of her. She's probably not, but that's the point. Finally, a fresh feud.
That's why I posted
Jade
this.
Cargill versus Charlotte Flair has been
Kyle,
pitched heavily for...
Why don't you get a shoe and smash him?
Well, we can wait a minute.
What is it, a spider?
Yes.
A spider? That's fine, I'll eat the flies. But Santino... What?
Right.
Santino said it's time to take off the jewelry and put that hair up, baby girl, obviously referring to Ariana.
Now, this I thought was interesting. Okay?
Saraya
and we're going to
says...
show quite a few of these.
Yeah, please share your first wrestling promo pics. I'll go first.
And that is Paige Saraya.
Mm-hmm. And then we have L.A. Knight. If you told me this was L.A. Knight, I'd be like, no, the fuck it wasn't. But
I mean, you can tell,
Watching
but you
us.
can't.
yeah, like these are completely different. What is he? Oh, it's a headband. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Then you have Ace Austin. I can see
Are
that
you
one.
still watching?
You have Saray or Fallon Hendry. I didn't
Fallon
mean to-
Henley.
Fallon
Which
Henry.
I can see that. That one's. This one you
Rhea
said-
Ripley. I would not have a fucking clue. Not a clue in hell.
If they didn't tell you that was Rhea Ripley, you would have been like, no.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, who the fuck is that? But you know what? That just shows you how far you can change yourself. Then we have Shotzi. We have Mi Chin. That one, yeah, that's... Like I said, Mi Chin hasn't changed a lot in, what, 16, 17
Yeah.
years? So,
Exactly.
good on her. Then you have the King. This one I can see. That's before...
Hey, you know
that's
what? That beard's real.
Yeah, that's when he had a real beard rather than a spray-on one, but that's besides the point.
Exactly.
Like we said before, Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis says it seems likely for SummerSlam in August, and then this is just Saraya. And then I'm not gonna play this, but this is just like a 4.5 little minute video of
We watched it. It's funny.
yeah, it's Bianca Belair and
Montez.
Ford. Montez acting as her hands while she applies like makeup and like
And she's like, and spread it lightly, and you like, or forcefully.
yeah, just like dab
about
lightly
Andy's
or
man?
not. It's
What
great.
about those?
It's cute.
You stupid.
And then Scarlett says to celebrate hitting 50,000 followers, we're dropping our new Chamber of Horrors episode with Maya Yim at the Haunted House tonight at midnight. And it's, like I said, that was a while ago. That's already out.
Yeah.
And then just for tonight, we have Aleister Black versus Carmella.
Go down. Nope. Don't worry about that one. Go down.
Okay.
There's one better. That one.
We have Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the Women's Championship tonight. Okay. We have Mi Chin versus Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green, Money in the Bank qualifier. Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix versus Solo Sikoa, also Money in the Bank qualifier. Then we have Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. And Fraxium versus DIY. DIY is going to get their asses kicked. And apparently Wade Barrett interviews with R-Truth to take place tonight, so that'll be interesting. And then Lash Legends is dating Trick Williams, so good for them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. This is tonight too.
Oh, this is gonna be a great fight.
Well,
Charlotte
I'm not
don't.
saying it's gonna be a
Sorry,
fight.
Charlotte don't
but
stand a
I
chance
don't
in
think it's
hell.
gonna be a fight, but we're definitely gonna get the
Something.
answer.
Yeah, something. And then this is Jessica Carr. I assume this is her.
The wrestler, yeah, or the referee, but she's
Oh.
also Kayla.
Yeah.
In Evolve.
Also, I think we're moving, and it's more anyway. Zelina Vega reflects on the night she won the Women's U.S. Championship, and Aleister Black made his return to WWE. My mind was just on him, and it was just like seeing him at work again, and like traveling with him again. I think my brain was just so fixated on that. I didn't have time to get nervous, which was such a nice feeling because I hate getting nervous, but I had such an ease all day. My head, my heart, everything just felt very much at ease, so that's nice. Cody Rhodes is expected to partake in the WWE Money in the Bank Premium Live event on Saturday, June 7th in Los Angeles, California. It remains unclear whether he will compete in a match or simply make an appearance. I feel like he'll... I don't know if he'll be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Maybe. We'll see.
And this is more just Miz doing the golfing thing. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And it's like showing why he sucks at golf.
They say golf is a mental game, and mine just walked off the course. Me and a few folks at Quail Hollow might be in the same group chat this weekend. Link in bio for... Yeah, fucking golf is such a waste of space.
And I thought this was interesting.
Kathy Kelly lands her first movie role.
Which it doesn't... I can't find the name of the movie yet, but I will keep a heads up on that.
Yeah, I just want to... It doesn't say anything like...
I don't think. I couldn't get to pull up.
Yeah, it just says she's in a movie. Fair enough. More power to her.
Yep.
The way Karrion Kross' popularity is rising, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a singles title by the end of the year. He's selling so much merch right now. 100% agreed. He deserves it, honestly. He's great in that ring. And more Miz golf and stuff. And that is it. That is all we have for today. Like I said, a lot of just fun stuff that we went over. A lot of... Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. I mean, I thought that a lot of them were really, really good.
Yeah.
But that is about it from us, guys. If you've made it this far on the stream, go to give us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to chat with us, go ahead and join us on the Discord server. If you want to help support us, press that big red donate button. But
Press the button.
Yes, press the button.
aside from that, we ain't got much else. I'm Tilthari.
I'm CK.
And I'm Knight Rider. Have a
See
good
ya.
night,
See ya.
everybody.